Today I want to talk about overwhelm because I know the overwhelm is a really big subject and it is just what brings you into stress. Therefore, first of all, I want to give you a definition. And that definition is like, if something overwhelms somebody or something, it is too much for them to manage. And that is why you are in stress. You are having the feeling it is getting too much. You don't really know how to cope with it. You don't have any strategies to cope. And my question for you is, where did you feel overwhelmed this week? Just take your time, stop this video and think about it. In today's life, I guess there is something again. And I'm now going into the history of it. And in the, so to say, 18th century, most people were farmers or doing a handicraft. A few are doing money changes, so to say finances. But the family is normally doing the same thing than before. So things are repeating a lot. The processes in the workplace are repetitive. Imagine a farmer who gets up at 6 o'clock or even earlier, feeds his animals and goes on the fields. Then at midday, the wife is at home, she looked after the children and cooked. So the husband comes back. It might even be evening when he comes back. So he is tired and he wants to eat. And then there's nothing. So as I mentioned before, when it comes to sleep, the sun sets and the melatonin of our brain or in our brain increases and the farmers went to bed. There was no electric light that came in 1875. So there was only a candle if you wanted to have some light. So that was, so to say, a quite, well, not relaxing, it was hard work, don't get me wrong, but it had its rhythm, it was structured, and it was nearly every time and every day the same, except there was something special. Of course, these things existed. But, so to say, at the mid of the 19th century, so let's say about 1850, I think really it started 1875, the industrialization started. So in 1875, as I mentioned, the bulb was invented. All of a sudden, the work changed because we could have light in the factory until midnight, so to say. So people worked longer hours. And with the industry, things started to improve for people. It became easier. Just think of the washing machine, think of the dishwasher. It is different washing your all the clothes by hand than putting it into a washing machine. And because at some time there was not only one washing machine, there were X. You could choose which programs, how to handle it and everything. So all of a sudden, the loads of invention meant loads of choices. and all of a sudden you feel overwhelmed. And when you think about of what choices you can choose today, you understand the overwhelm. And in addition, we are going into the new era called digitalization. And that makes it even more complex because it's getting more confusing. And do you really know how long you're going to keep your job? So the trouble is, it is really stressful. And it is really stressful to choose of so many products, which are often very similar. So we get into the overwhelm again. So we've got, for example, our meetings, we need something new. We have to look which products are we choosing. Then we've got our parents and so on and so on. You know what I want to say? It is a really complex world, and your life is complex compared to that we had a few centuries ago. So that means you might really be running into a depression or anxiety. So when you start to get anxiety, that means you are showing the first, at least the first physical signs of stress. So the next thing is when you go into depression, and in a moment you will see where depression comes into stress. Depression, so to say, is you're standing in front of a wall, closely to a wall, and it's loads of bricks here, and you can't see anything where to go. You're just standing in front of this wall and you don't know what to do. So you feel overwhelmed, and so to say, you lie on the ground and you don't know what to do, just to use that as a picture. So what you can do, and that's what perhaps you can do with meditation or mindfulness, is take a step back and have a look at this wall again. And all of a sudden you realize, oh, right and left, the wall ends. And you can walk around. And all of a sudden you feel sovereign. You feel the strength, the self-esteem and the self-confidence to act. And that's what you start to do. And before, you stood in front of that wall and you didn't know what to do. And that's when you felt insecure and you didn't know what to do. And when I come to say to the burnout, that is just what it is. You start to feel uncomfortable. You realize something is wrong because you are tired, you don't sleep, perhaps even because it might be going, too many thoughts in your mind might be running, or it might mean you are tired and want to sleep most of the time. But when you have come to that point, you're often already in a depression. Just to give you an idea what it means. So going in a burnout is really bad, and there are even more stages. It can even lead to committing suicide or attempting suicide, of course. So the earlier you really act and start to learn to overcome your overwhelm, the better, so to say, it is for you. And I just learned a new method today again, and I'm really fascinated by it. And I think I might put it into my coaching. Not quite as fast, of course, because I have to think about it. But that's why I am just saying that, because, of course, the coaching I offer will help you to reduce this overwhelm, to see, or to set, of course, new priorities, to see and to work out how you could change to be more balanced. And I offer a one-to-one coaching, which is taking place online on Zoom. So you can be wherever you want, and we can work together. That's no problem. One session will be 100 minutes. I think 60 minutes is too short, and 100 minutes it needs to, so to say, to help you to work, to find solutions, to answer questions, and so on. And so that's why I am taking 100 minutes. And another thing is, I calculating 6 sessions, and these sessions actually have so to say subjects. Of course, you might have some subjects as well, but I think, especially when it comes to stress, it is really important to look at some things. For example, to look at what stress have you got at the moment, what stress did you have in the past, and then to have a look what triggers this behavior. Why are you behaving the way you do it? And to look, where could you change? And that's a process. And because of this process and new habits that have to be formed if you want to change behavior, and don't think we're going to stop there. We are looking for lapses and relapses as well. And that's really important, because you will have them, even though you might think, oh, great, I've done it. No, you don't. After 4 to 8 weeks, or at least after 3 months, you will see it's not as easy as it's thought, because there are distractions, and all these distractions we have to work on. So that is the reason why I am not working with you every week. Normally, I work monthly. I have an offer where I work weekly, so if you want to have that, that's fine for me as well. But normally I say it's once a month, because we're talking of a behavioral change, and that takes time. You will notice you are in a hamster wheel, you are used to the behavior you've got, and to change that takes time. And you will try behavior, and then you will realize, oh sugar, that didn't work. And then you start again. What can I do now? And then you start again and act. Oh, that was better. And so it's really a process to change your behavior. And so I think it's important to do it once a month, and not really every week. When you are deciding to do the online coaching, that's a bit different. But there are also sessions with content, and not so much to work on. So, but when we do the 100 minutes, I want us to work on them. And that's why it's so important for me to say we need it once a month.